KSL News at 4 starts now.
Good afternoon. A hiring freeze, the elimination of vacant full-time positions, and free rec center passes for children. Just a few of the 2024 budget priorities announced by Salt Lake County Mayor Jenny Wilson today.
News specialist Shara Park joins us now live. And Shara, it sounds like the mayor is tightening up the county's belt.
Yeah, she is. Mike and Ashley, good afternoon to you. The county's 2024 budget faces some big challenges, including a slowdown in tax revenue. But the mayor says that she is not going to raise taxes to try and combat that, at least not in 2024's budget. Today, Mayor Wilson described a complex set of financial issues that the county is facing with this budget, including, as we mentioned, the sluggish property and sales tax revenue growth at less than 2%, offset by inflation and a 10% jump in healthcare costs. Now, to navigate this, the mayor is proposing a 3% restriction on employee spending, a 2% spending restriction on program budgets, a 50% cut in the county's travel budget, resulting in approximately $1 million in savings, a hiring freeze, and the elimination of vacant full-time positions open for more than 6 months.
If a department or division has a position that needs to be filled, they can go before a committee, and there'll be a review process to determine whether or not that position is essential or can be delayed.
And while the budget tightens in some areas, Mayor Wilson is loosening it in others. In the next fiscal year, Mayor Wilson is proposing to eliminate rec center fees for all children, as well as all county library late fees for kids. The 2024 budget also includes a proposed 2.75% salary increase for general employees and one-time bonuses. There's also money set aside for sworn officers in an effort to prevent Salt Lake County falling behind other jurisdictions. Now, part of this proposal, we also have money set aside for parks, for new trails, for the improvement of open spaces, libraries, things like that. You can read all about this budget on our website at KSL-TV.com. At this point, Mike and Ashley, though, the budget will now go to the county council for review and then a final vote on December 5th. We'll send it back to you.
Yeah, budgets aren't easy. Always a lot to sort out. Not everyone's happy either. So some are happy, some aren't happy, and that's just kind of how it goes. All right. Thank you very much. Appreciate it, Shara.
Yeah.
New at 4, the state of Utah joining
In New York.
Coming up next here, hired homework, a cheating service being sold in Utah. Matt Gephardt investigates when we come back.
Well, you've heard the adage, cheaters never prosper. Well, people who help cheaters sure do.
Apparently so. An Orem man was contacted by a company offering to do his homework. Well, he decided this was something KSL investigator Matt Gephardt needed to see. Matt?
Ashley, Mike, good afternoon. Yeah, cheating has always been a thing that professors have had to deal with, students secretly trading papers for cash, but apparently it's not so secret anymore.
James Blaylock certainly does not need any help with his homework. He's a professional accountant who graduated a long time ago from BYU. Still, when he got this flyer in the mail, he knew it was something that he could not just throw away.
I was very concerned.
The flyer is from a website called therightchoicedocs.com, and the offer is not subtle. We do homework for college students.
I said, that is so brazen, and I'm so disturbed by it.
Aside from cheating being, wrong, James is also concerned about what this could mean for a young person's future if they get busted.
Somebody's going to get caught. Their life is going to be ruined.
James asked me to investigate.
Now, if your first thought was what my first thought was, maybe this is just a scam trying to steal credit card information, I'm not so sure about that. Using investigative skills that I'd learned by actually going to college classes and paying attention, I was able to get past the website's anonymous domain and figure out where they were located. Hampton, Georgia. And look, they actually have a registration with the state. Hey, this is Matt Gephardt from KSL.
I reached out to the company through the online chat. I got a call back from somebody who refused to give me his or her name, but the caller ID closely matches the name on that business registration. The caller wanted to know when my story would air so they could, quote, be ready for the influx of orders. Then the person hung up on me before I could get a question out.
Do you think that you're running a... Hello? All right, what do you think of this?
I think it's crazy.
I asked Scott Trotter with Utah Valley University for his 2 cents on this flyer.
We bring students here so they can succeed, they can learn how to succeed, we teach them they can do that without cheating. They have the ability to do it. And here you have a company that's encouraging them to do it. I was shocked, actually.
Trotter says that punishments for cheating can vary, but worst case, a student could get booted from school. The RightChoiceDocs.com seems to know that people who use their service could get into trouble because buried in the terms and conditions, they talk about how their papers are merely meant to be used for reference and/or learning purposes, and that they do not condone the act of using our products to achieve higher marks within educational institutions, nor do we vouch for the results.
If we don't follow rules in our society, things break down.
As for James, he says the Right Choice Docs is offering the wrong choice.
Oh, it just makes me sick to my stomach. 10 sharpened pencils.
I did not get a chance to ask that person that hung up on me if they use artificial intelligence to write these papers, but I asked Utah Valley what they do about students using AI to cheat. I was told that they have AI that checks for AI, but the professors are also evolving the way that they teach, maybe letting students use AI as a tool and then trying to think critically about whatever the computer spits out. Mike?
Not only is it cheating, but they're not even promising good results.
No. And they basically are saying, yeah, and we also know you might get in trouble. Careful.
Yeah. Okay, covering their bases there. Thanks, Matt. Hey, you have a warning for people who are looking into hiring somebody to improve their credit, right?
Yeah, that's absolutely right.
Your way up here.
Slow tax revenue means a tighter budget for Salt Lake County. Coming up, I'll tell you where the cuts are being made.
I'll have it all for you in the forecast.
Sounds good. Thanks, Kevin. Mayor Jenny Wilson proposing a hiring freeze in the next budget year as a result of sluggish tax revenue growth in Salt Lake County.
Now, that's just one way the mayor is attempting to reduce spending while still trying to improve county services. News specialist Shara Park joins us now live. And Shara, what are the other major takeaways from today's budget breakdown?
Well, Mike and Ashley, the county is looking at a very tight budget year for the next fiscal year, thanks to low tax revenue, as Mike mentioned there, inflation, and a jump in healthcare costs. But despite that, Mayor Wilson says she's not looking to raise taxes, and she's not proposing any layoffs. Now, the biggest takeaways from today's announcement was the hiring freeze and the elimination of dozens of vacant full-time positions unless deemed necessary by a committee. But there's also spending cuts. Today, Mayor Wilson announced a 3% restriction on employee spending, a 2% spending restriction on program budgets. She also announced a 50% cut in the county's travel budget, resulting in approximately $1 million in savings.
We are not doing any layoffs. We're keeping our employees, even though our revenues are really, really tight this year.
Now, while the budget belt is tightening in some areas, it is loosening in others. In the next fiscal year, Mayor Wilson is proposing to eliminate Salt Lake County Rec Center fees and library late fees for all children. She says she's trying to remove financial barriers and give families more opportunity after school for personal development.
We know that families are really feeling the pinch, and we looked at the vast investment that the county's made over the decades in recreation, and it seems almost nonsensical to charge kids a fee to use our rec centers.
Mayor Wilson says it will cost the county a couple $100,000 to eliminate rec center fees for kids. She says they've crunched the numbers and the funds to cover it will come from the Tourism, Recreation, and Cultural Fund. Now, the 2024 budget includes a proposed 2.75% salary increase for general employees and one-time bonuses. The budget now goes to the county council for hearings, and then it will eventually be voted on in December. For Live at 5 in Salt Lake City, I'm Shara Park.
All right, Shara, thanks for breaking that down for us. Well, only on KSL.